Frieza log. Stardate. It has come to this. I am basically facing my former self. How far have I come? I'm excited to find out. For Kit. For Chilai. My friends. Hey folks, MasakoX here. Here it is. The finale of this tale as I would see it. In terms of Frieza's adventures and discovery, I don't think there is much more room for this to carry on as a what if, and so we will be bringing this to an end in this form factor. Stay tuned to the end for more about that. But we still have this to cover for those who are not familiar with the story. Back at the end of last year, around the Christmas period, as some kind of Christmas miracle, I decided to provide something and actually explore a world that I had long been putting off due to the simple fact that I felt little confidence at the time in producing something noteworthy, logical, or indeed plausible. Well, I think it's safe to say right now that I proved myself wrong. I'm happy whenever I do that. So if you are brand new to this tale, this all began when Frieza and Goku had their little tete-a-tete on Namek, and instead of Frieza immediately hoodwinking Goku, he played it out a little bit more, making the monkey think he had turned a corner and helped him escape. He hadn't, obviously. From there, Cold had realized that his son had gotten soft or ineffective as a ruler, and it all led to the former emperor losing everything. But then, actually, gaining so much more. In this story, Frieza realized that the best thing in life is to live it, and it's more satisfying that way. But that doesn't mean he's still a complete goody-goody if you're worried about that chestnut. You could certainly say that he and his growing crew are a bunch of neutrals roaming around the galaxy. Do you think that means that Goku will become much more of an ally or maybe an acquaintance, finally getting over his hatred of Saiyans? Oh, no, no, no. He's got many other things far more of a priority. In the last part, a lot went down. Our posse finally realized that Frieza was, if not fully on their side, fighting their corner for the time being. Goku was right. He had their best interests for the moment, and was able to temper the likes of Perfect Cell, who had Frieza's DNA and former mindset baked into him in getting to fight for them, as well as against the galaxy's biggest threat to stability since time began, Trojan, the third child of King Cold, and by far the most insane. Kit, Chilai, and now Yamcha sped to his side, with the Elder Mechanic taking Trojan's ship and bravely slamming it into its owner and then into the sun, but it sadly failed. Now with a final form Trojan on deck, how powerful is he? Well, let's wrap things up, shall we? But one more thing. Several amongst you had mentioned over the parts about how Frieza could use instant transmission as a makeshift teleportation thing. Goku couldn't do that. Well, I think we can easily explain that and keep it somewhat baked into the lore. In a little conversation that Goku had with Frieza before Trojan arrived, they had a little bit of time to do that, it seemed that the Saiyan had missed out on some very interesting tricks this technique can do. If you had bothered to stick around, monkey, you would have realized how versatile this little trick can be. All I will say is that you can teleport by using the transmission bit and then missing. If I were to say teleport, I am still locking into an energy signal. I'm just moving a distance away from it deliberately. Clue is in the name. Instant transmission. Huh. This got Goku thinking for a while, and now you know how Frieza had done his homework. But that is the least of his worries right now. Up in the atmosphere, Frieza could sense that Kit was gone, just like everyone else down on the planet could, and that Trojan was on his way back and had seemingly rocketed up in power. Was this his final form? It was far greater than Frieza's own final form when he was on Namek. It seemed like his father had done a lot of research whilst he was out cold, originally being repaired all of those years ago. It felt like an eternity, a whole other lifetime. But it didn't matter. Frieza's mechanical fist was clenched so tight with grief and anger that it was leaking robotic fluids and sparking. Kit, now look what you made me do. You made me give a damn. Without another word, he powers up to golden form and flies towards the trajectory from where Kit had piloted the ship to, and Trojan was flying back from at breakneck speed. They were going to meet in the middle. Down on Earth, an inconsolable Chilai was slamming the ground, utterly defeated, utterly broken. Yamcha was doing his best to comfort her, but it did very little to do so. However, one person who tried to do so surprised everyone, and that was Vegeta. He knelt down in front of the wailing child and bowed. I am sorry. That stopped her.
Sorry?
This is my fault. Yardrat, that friend of yours. I grossly underestimated the enormity of that maniac's drive to end Frieza. I have never seen such atrocities undertaken with such little regard for life.
The mood is ice cold. The energies above them were ignored for the first time since Trojan had got here to see how Chilai would react. She did react, her hand raised up and then smacking the prince straight across the face. Everybody froze. What on earth did she just do? Vegeta, though, didn't move. He just held his cheek, still red raw from the smack, as Chilai stood up, looking sternly back.
That's for all the wretched things you Saiyans have done. To the galaxy. To me.
Chilai looks down to the ground, as if to muster the courage to speak.
Now I remember who attacked my home, ripped me away from my family. It was you.
Gohan then tried to explain that, no, it can't be. Vegeta, if it was him, was probably carrying out Frieza's orders out of fear. He wouldn't have meant to, surely.
No, you're wrong! This one killed for sport. One night, I asked Frieza for the truth. Did he come to my planet to destroy it? No, Frieza never sent any orders to massacre my home. Apparently it wasn't ready yet, as he put it. This one and his cronies came and did it themselves. For fun.
Vegeta wasn't moving. Deep down, he knew that, back in the day, she'd have been probably right. He, Nappa, and Raditz did do a lot of that, while Frieza was looking the other way.
Don't play the Freezer card with me! Any of you!
She turns to the Dragon team, then to Goku and Vegeta specifically.
Saiyans have done nothing but hurt us. I know it wasn't you who directly destroyed Yardrat, but you may as well have done so with your stupid pride. And that goes for you too.
Me? What did I do? Splutters a surprised Goku. Cell chuckles behind them.
The girl is right, Son Goku. I may not have turned goody-goody like the purple and white one up there.
He's pointing skywards. But I do know him well enough to understand that Saiyans are ultimately a stain on this galaxy, despite having their uses from time to time. And this is coming from me, a being that is part Saiyan.
I suppose I have to thank you in a way, Goku. If it hadn't been for your battle with my captain, I'd still be picking up scraps on some Deus-Seiken dump. But that doesn't excuse you for all of the pain your actions have put him through all the years.
Vegeta couldn't process what was going on, and so chose to just stay where he was, letting the girl's ire just wash over him. Back up there, the brothers were still speeding towards each other, and when they connected, there was an almighty shockwave, which carried for thousands of miles, enough to rip the icy cowls off of comets and shatter whole asteroids. The battle hadn't even started yet. Final form Trojan versus Golden Frieza was a very equal fight. Punch met by punch, kick met by kick. Frieza choosing to eschew witticisms for the first time, and instead concentrate his fury into tearing this monster to shreds. Trojan, instead of being frustrated for this lack of talking, loved this encounter. It was something he had been longing for ever since he was created. He was realizing his father's dream, to get back at Frieza.
You have no idea how much I've longed for this battle, brother. This is what father wanted. I only wish that it happened sooner, instead of him dragging it out for so long.
But silence. Frieza wasn't indulging this creature's rhetoric. Now this did get under Trojan's skin.
Got nothing to say? Silence your best defense! Your best defense to justify your cowardice! You ran away from your friends on Yardrat. You were scared by me, without even meeting me. You escaped and left them to their doom. It's all your fault that they suffered my wrath. How does that make you feel, brother? To know you're responsible for their demise? You could have stopped me there and then, but no. Father was right. You are soft. Soft and simpering and useless.
Frieza then just straight up gut punched Trojan so badly, it made Trojan spit up. He wasn't in pain though. This brought him further joy. Twisted, sickening joy.
Good! That got through to you. You acknowledge your act.
Frieza glides back. You are right. I should have stayed. I did indeed doom them all. Your words are not wrong. You may be crazy, but you're not a fool. Trojan is surprised to hear this. Was Frieza praising him after all he had done?
Why do you laud my deeds?
Because I care. Another stomach punch makes Trojan crease up in pain, but he's still not weakening.
No, this isn't how you're supposed to react. You're supposed to get angry, destroy me, make me writhe and twist with agony, make me feel true pain, feel alive. You're ruining my game! Yeah!
Trojan powers up and decides to hell with all of this. He's powering up to a new form, something that Cooler, dear brother Cooler, back on the planet, can sense.
No, he mustn't! Frieza, get out of there! What are you talking about? What is he doing up there?
Piccolo shouts to Cooler.
He's doing it. He's powering up to the 5th form.
5th form?
Gasps Goku.
You meant that final form isn't the highest form?
No, there's another. Goku looks up panicked, but then an eerie calm descends upon him.
Good. If history repeats itself.
He doesn't even bother finishing the sentence, leaving everyone guessing, but then looking back up to the stars. Does Goku have an idea about what's about to happen? Frieza gazes upon 5th form Trojan, looking immense and triumphantly back at his brother.
Your golden form is no match for this, brother. You really should have heeded your older brother and learnt this form too. It would have made things so much more fun and easier for you. Oh, well.
Trojan rushes forward, and Frieza tries to grip his outstretched arm to dodge the attack, but it misses. His robotic arm is simply shattered to pieces, having not been bestowed with the capability to process the golden power. Kit never got round to it. One arm down, Frieza is looking horrified. He was getting flashbacks to the moment that Cold, his now late father, had gone final form on him and did the same thing, wrecking his robotic body for daring to defy him.
Oh, I realize the irony. Daddy enjoyed this. His spite lives within me. Spite for having created such a miserable excuse for a ruler.
You're not fit to rule. You never were. You were simply created to get back at me. You were never destined for greatness, to take over the Empire. You are just a tool. Trojan spits out vicious expletives and screams.
Well, if I am a tool, then I will do what a tool does best.
He grabs Frieza's head
And break you down bit by bit.
He chucks Frieza away at great speed, and then sends a blast following him, to which Frieza can barely hold back, his one good hand getting singed slowly but surely. But he keeps plowing more and more power into it, to the point where he comes to a stop. Trojan can feel this, and instead of stopping, he keeps pumping out more energy into it.
I know this attack will be the beginning of the end. Just be a good boy and sleep, brother.
Goku feels something, and Frieza does too. Without a moment to spare, Frieza instant transmissions out of there, leaving the beam to travel into space, its destination unknown. Trojan, who can't sense energy mind, mistakes this lack of resistance to be his brother's death, and then relaxes his limbs and basks in his own glory. But now what? He did have no purpose now. Frieza was right. He wasn't created to become the true ruler of the galaxy. He paid no attention to Cole's rules and teachings. He was just made to punish Frieza. But with him gone, he was aimless. Well, not for long. Frieza reappeared and slammed a fist into the side of Trojan's armor. Frieza, without another word, extends his arms out in his trademark pose and invites Trojan to come for him. Trojan naturally takes this invitation, but misses. Frieza has moved 20 foot to the right and invites him to strike again, but Trojan misses again.
What is this? Why can't I hurt you? Why?
History repeating itself. Tell me, dear brother, did you train to perfect that form of coolers?
Why would I need to train? You should know. We are born superior to all beings. This is a natural gift of ours that none can compare.
I thought the same when I was your age, that this was just handed to us on a silver platter. But no, this battle is quite frankly over and done with. I can feel it. I'm sure the monkey is getting a kick out of this too. Looking back to Earth, and speaking of, Goku is smiling with relief. Everyone can sense it, except the Chilai.
What's going on? Why are you all looking so happy at a time like this?
The armchair places a hand on her shoulder.
Frieza's done it. He's learnt from his past.
That's right, says Goku chirpily.
Back on Namek, Frieza used his full power against me, and therefore burnt through a whole heap of energy in one go. In minutes, in fact. He never trained to use that form. Well, not use it efficiently. Seems like Trojan never got that memo either.
Cooler in the distance smiles.
Of course. How could I have been so blind to that? That fool was too desperate to get my power that he rushed himself even further. Now he will pay for all that he's done with his own ignorance.
You're making this up. You're stalling for time so your little friends can step in and save your sorry hide,
says a worried Trojan. No, nobody's coming to my rescue. I wouldn't accept it even if they were. I can finish you off right now with one hand tied behind my back. Oh, wait. He lifts the remains of his broken arm. I already am. He then proceeds to attack Trojan, whose power is falling by the second now. He is powerless to counter, and for the first time in his life, he's afraid. And no amount of self-reasoning is enough to eschew this ever-growing feeling of fear and horror to realize. He had lost because of his own ignorance.
Brother, don't do this. Why would you kill your own flesh and blood?
Frieza laughs in his face. That has to be the most pathetic thing you have said since you got here. You're supposed to be the emperor of this galaxy, aren't you? Act like it. Frieza is relentless. Each punch for those that Trojan had brutally ended for the sake of getting back at Frieza. There was not an inch of mercy crossing Frieza's mind. When he was done, he looked to see the bruised and battered figure of Trojan, who had now powered down to his first form. He had taken such a bruising, looking defeated, but elated.
Thank you.
Thank you. For what?
All this. I've never felt so alive in the face of death. This is the greatest feeling ever.
Frieza thought for a second. Should he deny this wretch the satisfaction of dying? Spare him like the monkey and his crew would do? Nah! I am sorry, brother. You should have never been born, dragged into any of this. This is all the fault of father. He lets rip, and Trojan accepts his destiny for his voyage into eternity. His body is being torn to pieces in the midst of this attack, and when he connects with the atmosphere of Earth, he laughs with mirth and pleasure as he streaks through the sky, all before being reduced to just ash in the upper ionosphere. The twinkling of the energy blast as it dissipates, and the remains of the monster left a glistening mark across the entire planet, and the dragon team down below basked in this feeling of relief and wonderment. It reflecting in their eyes. Trojan was gone. With the remains of his energy, Frieza transmitted back when he could feel no more of his brother's presence, and simply collapsed by Chilai's feet. He had done it. When he came to, in his final form once more, Goku offered him a hand up.
Good job, friend.
Frieza got up, and once he had gained enough strength to reply, he wrenched his hand away. I'm glad you finally saw the bigger picture, Goku. Took you long enough. Chilai, without another moment's hesitation, gave Frieza the biggest hug she had ever given anybody. Good. You're safe now. The dragon team was still dumbfounded seeing Frieza being so affectionate to anyone, but he was right. They were safe. Now that Trojan had been dealt with, Goku set about fixing some things. With the aid of instant transmission, Goku and Frieza set about requesting that Dende become the new Guardian of Earth like in the original, and then of course, the use of the Namekian Dragon Balls, to which the people of Namek were, needless to say, skeptical to do. Frieza personally took himself to Namek with Goku, as I said, along to explain his awareness of his torrid past, but did not wish to apologize entirely for it. I cannot undo what I have done, but all I can do is tell you this. You will never see or hear from me again. I am a changed being. All I wish to do is just get my friend back. Elder Mori was bowled over with the honesty in Frieza's voice, as well as being accountable for his actions, and having a friend. Warunga is summoned, and the first wish is to bring back Kit to life, and that is done. Kit awakens in a heap by Frieza and Goku's feet, fully aware of what had happened.
Ha! The plan worked.
Plan? What plan?
Come now, droidy boy. You seriously think I was going to sacrifice my own life without knowing I could be brought back with those Dragon Balls you got? Yamcha told me that. And that boy, he's worth keeping, Frieza.
The next wish is to bring back Yardrat and its people, which is done, and then the final wish was to bring back all of those that were ended by Trojan and his rampage, save for King Cold, obviously. With that, the dragon vanishes from view, and Kit and Frieza plan to leave for Earth. Let's go cheer the girl up. She's been through a lot.
Sure thing, droidy boy.
You know what, Kit? I'll let that slide. They vanish as Goku takes Dende back to Earth. Now with everyone gathered back on Earth, Goku then asks something that had been on his mind just now.
Why did you not wish for your body back, Frieza? Surely you want to not be robotic anymore.
You would think so, but... He looks to his still broken robotic arm and smiles.
This is a permanent reminder of where I once was,
and must never lapse back into as long as I should live. Cooler then walks up to his brother, and then brings up a good point. I hate to be a buzzkill right now, but with Trojan gone, there is a pretty substantial power vacuum to be had. You need to step back into your former empire. I mean, it is yours, technically. You'll take it. Me? Are you deaf? You! Yes, you! Vegeta is stunned at this choice. But he's still King Cold's son! Oh, so if me fighting your corner for all of these months keeping you alive meant nothing, did it? After all that I've been through, I have no wish to destroy.
It should have been yours to begin with anyway.
I've had my fill of that life. Now it's time to carve out my own, doing what I want. Goku then asks if he would consider joining forces, perhaps staying on Earth with the Dragon Team. To this, Frieza walks up to him, and then with a fist, gut punches Goku that shocks everyone. Have you forgotten, monkey? I may have helped you as you helped me, but that does not make us allies. You Saiyans have caused more trouble for us than we would care for. After this, you are on your own. I do thank you for your humble assistance, but this does not mean that I like you. I may not be a lord anymore, but I am still Frieza. Come along, Kit, Chilai, and you over there. Me? I've heard on the grapevine that you are indeed quite useful, as well as I find you to be quite the suave figure. You've earned yourself a place on my ship. Yamcha is stunned. They put in a good word for him, Kit and Chilai, but his friends, he couldn't leave them. Chilai walks up to him and assures him that if he doesn't like it, he can always come back.
Yeah, boy, we ain't holding you hostage. It's just nice to have some extra muscle on board. That, when you're a bandit, could work well with Chilai.
Yamcha tries to explain he's not a bandit anymore, and Puar does offer his assistance too, and then showcases his shapeshifting powers, to which Frieza is very impressed with.
Come on, Yamcha, give it a try.
Moans Chilai, and Yamcha agrees, eventually. He'll see how it goes.
What about you, Cell?
They all turn to Perfect Cell, who has been standing there all this time looking deep in thought. Well, what can I do? I've been outclassed by that disappointment. He points to Frieza. You lot will no doubt outclass me too. I may as well just head off out into space and explore, I guess. Figure out a purpose for my seemingly everlasting life. They all think about this and ultimately accept this. This is not a bad idea. After all, he knows that Frieza would come knocking if he dared to endanger anyone. And as for Broly, he chose to stay on Earth and train further with Goku, and make sure that his power was much more well-rounded than before, and that he could become a valuable member of the Dragon Team going forward. Making their goodbyes, Frieza and his crew, as well as a nervous Yamcha and Puar, lift off from the ground and head off out into the galaxy. Their next destination, Yardrat.
Are we gonna take the long way, droided boy? We're gonna use that finger thing again. Warn me if it's the second one. I need a sick bag on standby.
No, Kit. I could do with the rest after all that I've been through. And I also need you to fix... Well, he wiggles the stump of his robotic arm.
Oh, right. Can do. I'll also make it so your gold thing works with it as well. I mean, I should have done that.
Yes, that's a good point. I should have asked you to do that sooner. Frieza and Kit then head off to the repair shop, and Yamcha, Puar, and Chilai look out to the surging stars as they speed forwards towards Yardrat to meet their friends.
It's gonna be fun working together. I can't wait to see your skills.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm not one for stealing things from innocent people, you know?
Innocent people? Mom, where's the fun in that? If anyone deserves it, it's those who try and game the system. We'll just game them back.
Oh, right, yeah. They start talking shop as the ship flies off into the cosmos, their future bright. And that's where we end things. In this form factor. Yes, this is not the end. I plan to continue the series in a different guise, as an audio drama series entitled Revelation F. You see what I did there? Resurrection? Revelation? F? Either way, you can expect these quite regularly, and I have a cast in mind, so do look forward to this continuation in the fullness of time. And what did you folks think of the scenario in the end anyway? Did you like it? Are you excited to hear more in the future? Leave a comment below, and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!